You're listening to Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum. Happy Halloween, Ryan.
Happy Halloween.
I love Halloween. I love going to horror mazes and Universal Horror Nights with my friends. It's such a blast. We just do a lot of fun things during Halloween. You know, I might have a pumpkin carving contest like I usually do.
Kind of banking on it.
Are you? Yeah.
It's an annual thing.
I know. I'm going to think about it. We got a lot going on, and I hope you're having a good Halloween. We have a great guest today, so just a few things before we start. And I think you're going to really love this. This is an amazing episode. Just saying thank you to my patrons, top-tier patrons, and all patrons who support this podcast. Without you, I couldn't do it. So if you want to join Patreon and support this podcast and keep it going, that's up to you. Consider it like a streaming service where you could just give whatever you want. Patreon.com/insideofyou. And I really appreciate it. It's a wonderful community. There's a lot of perks. I send boxes to people and notes, and we do occasional Zooms, and there's what do you call it? YouTube lives where I go on. There's just so much fun. It's a great community, and I appreciate you guys. And also my book, The Talented Farter, is out. So please support The Talented Farter on Amazon. Get your book today. It's a great tabletop for the holidays, and it's fun. It's a sound book. It's not just for kids, it's for adults, and I think you're going to really love it. Great illustrations and a cool little story about a kid whose only talent is farting. He can make his fart sound like anything. And Rosie's Puppy Fresh Breath, available on Amazon. Just one little cap in your dog's water, and odorless and tasteless, and their breath will be great. So, yeah. Yeah, and the Inside You online store. Tons of stuff. Smallville stuff, scripts, Lexmas, cool tumblers, shirts, anything you want. It's all there. Little Funko Pops of Lex Luthor, which are rare. We got lots of stuff there. I'm on the Instagram at the Michael Rosenbaum, and Cameo and all that stuff. So, Ryan, are you doing well? You still going to BetterHelp, doing your therapy?
I'm still doing my therapy. Yeah.
I like it. It helps. I'm going to do therapy tomorrow.
Cool. That's good.
Yeah, it's important, man, especially now. I've just been like, got so much going on, and I'm about to have surgery, and it's just like I got a lot on my mind, and I need to talk to someone who actually
a professional
who will listen.
Yeah,
and so it's important.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good. Great episode today. Truly one of my favorite people on the planet, Cassandra Peterson, Elvira. We really talk a lot about what's in her book, and I think you're going to really enjoy this conversation. Boy, is she open. Mm-hmm. I just loved having her here. What a delight. I love you, Cassandra. You know that. Or Cassandra.
I don't know.
All right, let's get inside of Cassandra Peterson.
It's my point of view. You're listening to Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum.
Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum was not recorded in front of a live studio audience. First thing we start talking about is you have your own horror con.
Yeah, so it's just Elvira Presents, and it's going to be a big horror con up in Washington State.
So it's your con?
Kind of.
So you have to show up.
I do have to show up.
So you'll be signing and taking pictures and all that stuff?
I will. I'll be doing everything. As myself, because I'm not dressing up in the drag anymore.
You're done with it?
Yeah.
When did you put that away?
It was, when was it? My last appearance as Elvira was on The Goldbergs. It's so bizarre. I didn't plan it that way. I just decided after that, I'm not dressing up anymore.
Why is that?
Why? Because I think it gets to a certain point.
You still look
I'm like Muhammad Ali. I want to go out on top. Yeah, but there's that little moment, that little 1 minute where you're looking really good, and then all of a sudden, oh, poor Elvira.
So you want to leave on a good note?
Exactly.
I mean, do you feel like
Biden?
Yeah. Do you feel like you're going to start falling apart? Is that what you're telling me?
Well, yeah, probably. I mean, I'm 72. It's bound to happen at some point, I just,
What is it? What is it about aging? Because I've dealt with a lot of surgeries my whole life, and I'm 52, and I could feel it already. And I'm like going, well, wait a minute. What's it going to be like when I'm 60, 70? Does it honestly just get really a lot worse?
It hasn't for me.
No pain?
No. I don't really have any.
No knees, no arthritis, no. Because my mom is a lot older. Not a lot older. She's 5 years older, and she's an absolute mess. It's her wrists. It's her knees. She falls. She can't get up. She's foggy. She's this. What do you do to keep going the way you're going?
Nothing. I wish I had a good plan.
Nothing?
No, lately I haven't even worked out. And normally, I mean, most of my life I was a dancer, so I was never an athlete, but I was always, physical, working, dancing.
So you probably have really a good heart.
Maybe we'll see soon. I have a bunch of heart tests coming up when I get back home, but yeah, hopefully. I don't know what I've done. I ought to knock on wood right now. I'll
Knock
tell you.
right there. There's that tape. Yeah, all of that's what
Okay.
just falls down.
Well, crash. Yeah, because I just no, I've been very healthy.
Let me ask you this. This is kind of well, you say everything in your book. I mean, yours cruelly, Elvira. Get the book. I mean, if you want to know everything, because it's funny. Last time you were here a long time ago, and there were some things you just didn't want to talk about, and there were some things I didn't know, and there was all this stuff. But this book, yours cruelly, Elvira, it says everything. It's like you became an open book. And why did you feel the need to write this book?
Mostly it was. My whole life, people have been I tell people a story about being in Vegas, a story about being on the road with my band, Mama's Boys, about working with Fellini or whatever. And they go, "You have to write a book. This is insane."
Yeah.
I mean, I feel kind of like Forrest Gump, the female Forrest Gump. I came along.
I remember when I went out with Elvis.
It's like a box of chocolates. Anyway, it just. One crazy thing after another happened to me, and people would always say to me, "You have got to write a book." So I would make feeble attempts to write a book. You might write one little story down, and put it away, and then I'd write a little story. And finally, it just got to, I got to do this. If I'm ever going to do it, I got to do it now.
No one approached you and said, "Hey, we're going to give you $500,000 to write the Elvira book."
No.
Cassandra Peterson tells it all.
I took it out and sold it with the help of my good friend Pamela DeBar, who is the premier groupie. If people aren't familiar with her, she's amazing. But she's also a writer, and she wrote this very, very big book a lot of years ago, but called "I'm with the Band."
Oh,
And so Pamela was saying, if you don't get a book deal, you will never write this book, because the only thing that makes you write a book is to have a deadline. If your deadline's 3 days, you'll get it done in 3 days. If it's 30 years,
true,
you'll get it done in 30 years. It really is. So she introduced me to her agent, literary agent, and he got me some meetings with publishers, and with Pamela's help, I wrote up a little synopsis, and boom, I sold it right away. And then I had a deadline, and it was 1 year, and I had to sit down.
Did you wait
7 days a week.
and wait?
No, I jumped right on it, man, because I knew there was a lot of work.
What was the first thing you started writing in the book? Was it chronological? Were you feeling? Did you start from the beginning and work your way up?
I did start chronologically, and then I went back when I did the editing and made it a little more interesting. I started with how I became Elvira. And then I flashed back to the beginning when I was born.
Was the hardest chapter where you were you thinking of cutting it out, where you say, I'm coming out. I've had this woman in my life. And
oh, yeah, that was another reason for writing it, just getting that out there.
You really, is that what you wanted to do? That was the way you were going to tell the world? You thought that was easier? Like just say it and that's it?
Yeah, and be done with it. And then I thought, I'm old enough now that if I lose all my fans,
why would you lose your fans? You're Elvira. You could do whatever you want.
I know. I did lose some people, some straight guys who got all PO'd about it. Like I'm going to go out with them anyway, right? We're gonna go
on a date. You had a chance. Well, it did bum me out.
Dude.
I mean, because I'm telling you, some big name actors have been at these cons, and I don't know how many have come up to me and go, "Dude, Elvira." I'm like, yeah, I know. She's great. She's a great woman. She's really smart. No, she's, I mean, she's like 70. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, I would. And I'm like, okay, I think everybody would.
Oh, dear God. Okay.
And these are young, hot actors and even actresses. Do you like hearing that?
I do like hearing it. What the hell? Why
if
not?
I told you one name, I'm not going to
it.
say the name, but I'll tell you afterwards.
Oh boy.
They said it to me and I was like,
wow.
They went on about it and you'll be like, what? Yeah.
Okay.
So is it something you knew at a young age? Is it something you were like, because you got married, you dated men your whole life?
You mean like being gay or something? Oh, no.
Like being gay or something?
No. I never ever had one inkling of being gay. Never thought about women, girls, Never thought they were not, not a sexy way. They were my friends and
Yeah.
stuff, but I don't know. People say, I'm not gay now. People go, when did you know you were gay? And I'm like, the day I met my girlfriend, I
The
guess.
day I decided I was attracted to someone who I wanted to be with.
Yeah, that's
I mean-
exactly it. It was not something, when you read my book, you'll see I slept with my share of men, probably way, way more than my share. I said
100 men?
no, more than that. I'd say I ran out.
I love
I
you.
told
I
people,
love
I'd
you.
say, why are you with the women? I go, I banged everyone, all the men. I had to move on, new territory. It sort of was like that.
I've already done that.
Yeah,
I'm trying this now.
I know. I've done that.
You
Been
can't
there. I
just
don't know
have
where I
chicken
go
your
from
whole
now
life.
on. Exactly.
You know?
Got to mix it up.
But that being said, would you ever consider, let's say it didn't
I knew
work
we were
out.
going to go here.
It didn't work. Let's say it didn't work out with this woman and you're
Yeah.
like, you love her and you became friends and it would just, would you consider if you fell in love with a guy?
Oh yeah, anybody. Yeah. I mean, I hope it does. I hope it works out with her. I hope
Yeah,
I'm not,
I think it will
not
last forever.
72 running around trying to look for somebody to date. Oh God,
Is
that's
she
so
your age?
depressing. No, she's 10 years younger. So
Man, you're doing it right.
yeah, well,
Yeah. Well, I love that you just got this out of your system. Was it cathartic? The whole experience?
it was. Writing the whole book was very cathartic. It was like an expensive psychotherapist, except I got paid.
Do you
I
go to
didn't have
therapy
pay.
too?
I do. I stopped for a few years, like when the pandemic happened. I don't know. I didn't feel like I needed it for a while, and then I just went back recently. But to a really fun woman in a little she shed in Portland, and it's more like we just yak and have fun. I don't know. I don't know if it's that helpful.
I mean, I wonder, is there anything in the book that you wrote and you're like, oh, this is going to upset some people? Like the people you're talking about.
Yeah, well, those went away because the lawyers at Hachette, my publisher.
Oh, you had to cut it out.
Oh yeah, there were things.
But you were willing
and
to do
some
it.
names I changed. Yeah, I didn't want to, but I had to really because I didn't want to get sued. I was worried about my ex-husband. I didn't have too many great things to say about him, but
Right.
never heard from him. So not so far anyway.
And he's in the book.
Yeah, he has to be. I mean, I was married 25 years to this guy, so I can't hardly, I can't skip that.
And you don't, and where is he alive?
Oh yeah.
Inside of You is brought to you by J.C. Penney. Ryan, the
Yeah.
fall is here.
Wow.
And J.C. Penney has fashion for literally everyone. That's right, folks. Fashion for everyone. You can go to J.C. Penney or shop online. But look, I know a lot of times, JC, we'll get into the brands. They have so many great brands, but a lot of times I wear sweatpants on this show. In fact, I'm wearing them now and a t-shirt. But when I go out, I want to look sharp. I want to be trendy. I want to be cool. I want to feel good about myself, more importantly. And that's what happens when I go to JCPenney. JCPenney really covers it all in terms of fashion. You get the biggest brand names in fashion all in the same place.
JCPenney really covers it all in terms of fashion. I mean, I can get the biggest brand names in fashion all in the same place.
Liz Claiborne, Stafford, Ryegrass, Worthington, SJB, Arizona, so much more. Women's and men's trousers, sweaters, denim. It's just endless.
You can also explore JCPenney Beauty and find your favorite beauty brands too, or discover new ones to add to your fall beauty routine.
It's all here at JCPenney. Shop JCPenney or go to JCPenney online. JCPenney, make it count. Oh my gosh.
Oh god.
Well, so they made you cut this out. So you were really going balls to the wall here with like, hey, I'm saying it. You tell me what I
did.
can't say legally and I'll cut it out, but I want to say everything.
Yeah, I had some other stuff that they did want taken out, but no, I said pretty much everything. I think if you read it, you'll see. I was.
But if you could
pretty,
put that book
honest.
out with everybody's real names and all the stuff that you couldn't do, would it be just an uproar? Like,
Could be. There's a lot of celebrities involved at moments, times. Yeah.
a lot of like scheming sickos.
No, just a lot of sex with celebrities.
Did you ever have a threesome?
Oh yeah, I'm
I've
a
only had
child of
one
the
in my life.
60s and 70s.
Yeah, but most
Oh,
people
geez.
haven't had a threesome, Ryan.
Really?
He's
Face.
like, don't talk to me.
No, many, many times. You know, it was something you did. I swear to God, in the
It was just a time.
60s, 70s, it was. It was just like, oh, everybody does
But
this.
you weren't really a big drinker and drug addict.
No, not
What drugs?
huge.
A little coke.
Well, I did a lot of, I did my share of drugs, but I never, I must not be an addicted
personality
because
personality.
I could do, I mean, you know, I could do drugs. That's stupid to say. I did drugs. I drank a lot. Luckily, I hopefully, you know,
You didn't
I
do
don't
any,
know.
you weren't out of control.
I don't think I ever got out of control. I got borderline out of control a few times, like Quaaludes and then Coke later. Those were really bad. Those were really hard to just suddenly stop. But when I really saw that I was, you know, buying little bottles of Coke and they were gone in like less than a day, I go, I gotta stop.
Like, this is bad.
And I just stopped. Boom.
Really?
like that,
What?
yeah.
How did Quaaludes make you feel? What's like?
I love Quaaludes. I think if there was one drug that I could, you know,
Continue taking. And it was healthy.
Quaaludes.
Like if
No,
drugs were
it's not
healthy.
healthy.
No. If drugs
if it
were,
was healthy,
if it were healthy,
I would take Quaaludes. Oh,
What does it make you feel like?
well,
And they're not called
kinda-
Quaaludes anymore. Do people still take Quaaludes?
I don't think they have them anymore. I think they're all gone. I mean, for me, it makes you feel like you're drunk just at the peak of like how drunk you want to be. You know,
not
just
sick,
like,
not nothing,
yeah,
just
not
right on the
over,
border
not
of like,
out of it,
I feel like I can fly.
Fantastic, exactly, like really, really good. Not psychedelic in
Right.
any way, but just calms all the anxiety. You know, makes you feel really happy.
Cocaine,
they're all
cocaine just
gone.
clogged my nose.
I got
felt
a
like
lot of problems
shit.
with it. Also, I'm super hyper, so
I
I
don't
would just
need
be insane. I'd be like, you know, people would run from me. You know, I'm already hyper, so made me
Yeah.
just.
Did you ever get rejected by a man that you were really into?
Oh yeah, a million times.
Like who's
God.
who's a big one that like you were at a Hollywood party and you're like, you know, I'd love to talk to him, and he just wasn't into it.
Didn't happen very often. That sounds really cocky of me, but
No.
you know, guys, you know, guys.
Yeah. Warren Beatty.
I never met
He
him.
would never turn you down, by the way.
No, I know. I don't.
He would never turn anyone down. back in
I
the day.
never met him. I tell you one thing that happened. I went out a few times with Nick Cage, and it was very platonic. And this was a long time ago when he was doing Moonstruck, you know. And
Was he cool?
He was really cool, really bizarre, really
He
bizarre.
is bizarre, yeah.
Yeah,
I just saw
bizarre.
that Long Legs movie.
Oh, I'm dying to see that.
Oh my god!
I heard he's really, really creepy.
I think it's the best of his career.
Really?
And I'm
now going to see it.
As much as I love Nick Cage, I can't watch anything he's in the last few years because it's just like, to me, it's over the top, ridiculous. And the director honed it in. And so anyway,
fantastic.
Yeah, he's
Thank you.
great and creepy, and I loved him.
Oh my
what an
God.
actor.
He is a great actor. I mean, he has a tendency to be a little bit of a parody of himself.
Yeah,
He goes over so
what
big.
do you want to do? Yeah, let me ask. So what was it about that? Was platonic more?
And well, yeah, and we hung out. We did this magazine article together. We hung out, went to Hollywood, went to Moose Frank's, went to movies.
And he was fun
Yes, he was super fun. Wacky as crap.
and kind.
Yeah, sweet, very sweet. And I really had a giant crush on him, but it just never went.
Never happened.
No, it never happened.
Materialized.
No.
You never slept with him,
No,
and you wanted to.
I wanted to. He was really hot back then.
So what did he tell you? Like, yeah, just I'm not. Did he tell you,
Well-
or did it just kind of sizzle out?
Well, no, he said, if you weren't married, I was married.
Oh.
That's the bad part.
Oh,
See,
well.
So it didn't work out.
Yeah.
I mean, that
So
ruined
he
a lot
was
of
a
things.
good guy.
He was
Most
a good
guys
guy.
would be like, they wouldn't even ask you that.
I know. Well, the same thing happened with Paul McCartney.
What?
Yes, God. My marriage ruined so many good relationships. It did. Can you imagine? Yeah, I'm with
Paul McCartney. I have an autographed guitar from him.
You do?
Yes, his bass guitar
Oh my
autographed.
God. Oh God.
But so he was hitting on you?
Hitting on me, and this is right after Linda died, and then we go in his trailer and we hang out.
You make
and
out.
We have a drink. We didn't get that far.
Damn
because,
it.
Yeah, because he said, "Let's get out of here. Let's go somewhere." And I go, "Oh, I would love to, but see that guy over there?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, that's my husband. And he goes, oh, okay, bye.
And he just walked away?
And that was that. Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
If
so
you could go back
depressing.
in time, would you have just left with him?
Yes, because look, I'm divorced now. It wouldn't have mattered.
You would have
God.
got divorced a lot earlier.
And it was the little tiny window of time where Paul McCartney was single.
Yeah, he's a loyal guy.
Oh,
Oh
what
my
a mistake. Okay. Anyway.
I had an opportunity once with someone too. And
Paul McCartney?
No, I didn't. Not with Paul McCartney.
Okay.
But I didn't. There's something inside of me that just said, you shouldn't.
Don't do it.
Don't do
Wow.
it.
Who's that?
I can't say.
Mm.
I don't have a book out.
It wasn't me, was it?
No, I would not. I would not turn you down even now.
I don't remember. Okay.
So with all this, with this amazing career, I mean, like, this is something you didn't even expect. Like really, you didn't want to, I mean, did you want to, if you can go back in time, would you have ever thought for a second, I'm going to become this big star and everyone's going to know me and it's going to be like, I'm going to go to cons and sign autographs and
No.
write books. What did you imagine was going to happen with your life?
I wanted to be in show business. I wanted to be a working actor that made a living doing what I enjoy doing. I didn't know exactly what that was going to be or what it was, but those are my aspirations. It was like, I'm going to do work that's enjoyable.
Yeah. I mean,
And that was my
that worked
my
out though, didn't
aspirations.
it?
It did work out. And it even beyond working out.
Did you
you
ever
know.
think, like, I wish I wouldn't have become Elvira. I wish I would have just went more into acting and not been known as Elvira. Did you go through a period of time like
I
that?
did. In the beginning, I really had that thing of, oh, now I'm locked into this character. I'll never do anything else. I'm, never get any other jobs. And I'm going to try to go out for this or go out for that. And
Were you depressed?
for a little while, it was like, God damn, I'm just going to be wearing this black dress with my boobs hanging out. Nobody's ever going to really know what I can do, other stuff.
Yeah.
And then one day it dawned on me that I own the character 100%. I have all this money coming in from licensing, merchandising.
Wait. So every time
etc.
someone buys something, you still get it?
I get 100% of it.
100% of merch.
Yes.
So I just bought 2 Funko Pops.
Well, Funko gets what the cost of the item was to make. Yeah.
So you're getting so much money all the time.
Yeah. And I mean, like all of these little statues we have around here, all those belong to like a Universal or 20th Century Fox, where
Yeah.
nobody like even Shatner doesn't get his
What about
licensing money.
Elvira cereal?
Oh yeah, I got all of that. Don't eat that stuff, by the way.
No, it's unopened,
It's
signed
been
by
there
you.
too long. Good. Okay.
I mean, that's crazy. So
Yeah.
you get like all these, do you ever see things that are selling and you're like, I'm not getting a piece of that, and you look into it
Oh yeah, I have a company that does that full time. That's their whole job.
and they get a commission off
24/7.
what they find?
Exactly.
And they find stuff all the time?
All
Like,
the
what have they
time.
found?
Oh God, I remember everything you can imagine. I mean, from keychains to I don't know, dolls.
And what do they get? A letter in the mail saying if you don't reciprocate?
It's a group of lawyers, and they call them and say that that company has to pay me a percentage of everything that they made, and then they do a forensic accounting.
Jeez.
So it's not good.
So you're not
Not interesting.
retiring.
No, God.
You just did a book, you're doing a documentary. What else? What's next? What's the next chapter of your life? And also, when do you think you'll say, hey, I just want to go somewhere quiet and I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done with
I
it all. I don't
know.
want to go to the cons anymore. I don't want to do any, I just want to just live and because
I think about that all the time.
You do.
Yeah.
I think about things too. I think about, honestly,
How long you're going to be dragging your ass around
Well,
doing that,
I think I've read so much about what people always say before they die. And
Uh-oh.
100% of them say, I wish I just spent more times with my friends. I wish I wasn't worried about being relevant. I wish I wasn't worried about proving myself.
Yeah.
I wish I wasn't worried about, I wish I just had more connections and enjoyed my life. And my business manager's like, shut the fuck up. You're 52.
Yeah,
I'm
really
like,
good.
yeah, but people die at 52.
They die too, but most of my friends, when they're about ready to die, they say, God, I wish I would have done just one more con.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
But you love the cons. You love the people.
I do. I'm doing less of them now just because I don't have to.
Right.
You know?
You don't have to.
I like doing them. I mean, it's fun meeting the fans. But you were asking me what the next chapter was.
Yes,
And I was going to say it's literally the next chapter because I'm writing 2 other books right now, and I have 3 more chapters to finish.
What else could
That's
you
like
be
in a
talking
week.
about in this book?
Well, it's not an autobiography.
Oh.
They're both fun, kind of spooky, horror, Halloween related books. So
Really?
yeah, so I'm working on those right now. When I leave here, I'm going back.
Will
to
they
my
be
coffee
ready
shop.
by this October?
They will, and here's the sad part: we're not going to put it out this October because of the election.
So you're gonna wait till next October?
It's a bummer, but
You know, you gotta do what's
they
right.
said you won't get any press or anything because the election's going on. So you come out in October and nobody wants to talk to you. You know?
Yeah.
So-
In your book. But by the way, I want to ask you. So could you do nothing? Could you
No, I don't think I could.
Could you live on a beach with just
No.
a little country store?
I don't think I could.
What needs to happen every day for you? What kind of stimulation do you need? Besides sexual.
Well, whoa. Well, yeah.
By the way, at 72, do people still have a strong sex drive?
I don't know. I don't know. You'd have to ask people. I don't
People?
know. Yeah,
Ask your
some
girlfriend,
people. I
your
don't know.
partner.
I guess you do. I mean, everything, you know.
It's not as
slows down a
important as
little,
it
but
was when you were
It's
younger.
not as important. That's
Yeah.
the thing. It's fun. It's nice, but it's not like
Be
you're
all end all.
driven,
And I
you
don't
know.
think that way either. I'm 52 and I don't like, I'd rather just be really happy hanging out with someone. And that, of course, happens here and there.
Well,
But
good.
like, I don't think of it, I don't obsess on it.
That's because
Like,
you're
I
a
just gotta-
decent person.
I don't know. I just think I'm getting older and I'm just like, I really want connection and I want to have fun with someone. And that's part of it. But like, so that's what you're saying.
Well, thank God, because I see so many guys who are your age and older who are just like, I gotta bang that, I gotta hit that. I gotta-"
Well, I've
Oh my
done that. I've
God.
done that. I
It's
was in my
pathetic.
20s and 30s, even in
I
my
know.
40s. And like, now I just kind of slowed down and said, I'm really trying to find, someone.
Yeah.
And
a relationship. I mean, that's what
Yeah.
matters more, you know.
yeah, I
Yeah,
think
sex
so.
is good. Sex is great. It's nice.
You just
but
don't
it doesn't
always have
become
to-
the
Right.
driving force. I think. I mean, I get up first thing in the morning. I start doing emails. I start doing business
How long
emails.
An hour and a half?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay.
So sometimes I'm in bed till noon.
By the way,
doing
my
emails and
therapist
stuff.
said, Michael, your inbox will never be empty. So stop trying to finish everything.
That's how I feel. Ugh,
Yeah. All
I'm
right. So you
trying
do
to
the
get
email.
through.
You do emails.
I do the emails. I get up. I have the meetings. I have the phone calls, the interviews, whatever. And then I enjoy the rest of my day. Usually, take my dogs for a walk, do cook.
What's
do
your dog? What's
gardening.
your dog's name?
Vinny, and he's
Just
so
Vinny.
cute. I got it. Yeah, well, he's Vincent Price, but we call him Vinny.
You know what's funny? One of my questions on here was like, did you ever meet Vincent Price?
Oh my God!
Did you ever
yeah.
hang out with
Oh
Vincent
yeah,
Price?
a lot.
What was he like? I loved Vincent
Fantastic.
Price. Inside of You is brought to you by Shopify. If you have a business, Brian, if it's a big business, small business, medium sized business, you have to be using Shopify. I've been using Shopify for so long now, and it's so easy to use. When you're selling products, it keeps track of the things that are selling the most, the least, how much money you've made compared to the other month. It's all so simply laid out. You could add a product like a t-shirt. You put large or medium. You put the description and the price. It's right there. I do this myself, all of it. Shopify is so easy to use, and that's why everyone uses it. Nobody does selling better than Shopify.
Home of the #1 checkout on the planet.
And the not so secret with Shop Pay that boosts conversions up to 50%.
Meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going cha-ching.
So if you're into growing your business, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between.
Because businesses that sell more sell on Shopify.
Upgrade your business and get the same checkout as we use with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/inside, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/inside to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/inside. This week's Make It Count moment is sponsored by J.C. Penney. In a world where things change as fast as the seasons, JCPenney is there to help make fashion count for everybody and everybody. The moment we wanted to make sure counted to you was Cassandra discussing making an impact in people who feel like an outcast and providing motivation to be their real, true self, saving lives.
They come up to me and they say, you changed my life when I was little. I knew it was okay to be different. Mostly seeing the movie, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. They said, you made me feel like it was okay to be different. I felt like an outcast. And you were basically saying, fuck everybody. I'll be who I am. And it's okay. And so they come up and, honestly, sometimes they tell me they were going to commit suicide and that I kept them from killing themselves.
How does that make you feel?
Well, I fall apart. I start crying, sobbing. It makes me feel like being Elvira was worth this one person,
Isn't
doing
that something?
this gig. Yeah. I get emotional about it very much.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And it's happened to me before.
I was going to say, has it ever happened? I bet it
Yeah.
has, because celebrities, I don't know, they kind of represent a person's feelings. They're in a movie or they're in a TV show. And
yeah. Thanks again to JCPenney. Thanks again to JCPenney, the fall destination for the latest trends, budget-friendly fashion, and beauty products. Shop JCPenney in store or online. JCPenney. Make it count.
hilarious. First of all, every time I saw him, I said, you should have been a comedian. I can't believe you're just, like an actor. You should have been a comic. He was one of the funniest damn guys.
Was
I
he
ever
dirty?
met.
Like say dirty jokes and stuff?
Not really. No, he was pretty. He'd do a little risque, but he was pretty old school.
What did you do with him, or where'd you meet him?
Well, he came on my TV show on Movie Macabre. I couldn't believe it. I had this little local TV show, and the director says, "Let's call Vincent Price up and see if he'd be on the show." And he came on. We were just in shock. So it was to plug a play that he was doing. And
how old was he at the time?
God, that's a good question.
60s?
Probably. I was in my 30s. So yeah, he was probably in his 60s. But he was very good, energetic. He was.
Was Vincent Price gay?
I'm thinking he probably was bisexual.
Oh.
But I definitely think he had a little gay thing going on. That's why we connected, because
Yeah.
gay guys
Little did
love
you
me.
Gay guys do love you.
Oh, they do, man.
And you've done, yes. I look, you've judged drag shows. RuPaul.
I'm going out to dinner with Peaches Christ tonight.
I watched
Christ's
that.
sake.
I watched that season where he won on
Did you?
on what's it called?
Drag Race?
No,
He wasn't on Drag Race.
he was on the two Boulay.
The Boulay brothers. Oh, was he?
He
I didn't
won.
know that.
He won
Oh.
the season,
That's it. He's
and I
amazing.
watched it. Like I watched some seasons. I really enjoyed it.
Mhm. Oh, good. Yeah, I love the Boulay brothers. They're amazing. I love RuPaul too.
Are they nervous around you when
Yeah, I think a little bit.
Do you notice that most like gay guys are mostly just enamored by you?
Mostly,
You could feel that?
Yeah, I do. And
Do any of them cry in front of you?
oh yeah, I won yesterday.
Like what happened? What happened?
It's really amazing. They come up to me and they say, you changed my life when I was little. I knew it was okay to be different. Mostly seeing the movie, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. They said, you made me feel like it was okay to be different. I felt like an outcast. And you were basically saying, fuck everybody. I'll be who I am. And it's okay. And so they come up and, honestly, sometimes they tell me they were going to commit suicide and that I kept them from killing themselves.
How does that make you feel?
Well, I fall apart. I start crying, sobbing. It makes me feel like being Elvira was worth this one person,
Isn't
doing
that
this
something?
gig. Yeah. I get emotional about it very much.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and it's happened to me before.
I was going to say, has it ever happened? I bet it
Yeah.
has, because celebrities, I don't know, they kind of represent a person's feelings. They're in a movie or they're in a TV show, and
Yeah,
the
I can
person
see you guys
sees
got a
them
little
and-
emotional. Your eyes got a little.
I do,
watery.
I do.
Yeah. No,
It
I think it's
kills me.
awesome. I think it obviously means a lot to you, and it means a lot to me. And it's funny in hindsight. You don't really. Hindsight's 20/20, obviously, but like while you're doing something, you're dealing with all the monotonous bullshit and, worrying about yourself and first world problems and all these
Yeah.
things. And it's funny how all of a sudden, years later, you could be at a convention and someone will come up to you and say, "You saved my life." And I'm like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? Smallville saved my life. And I'm like, that sounds asinine. How could that possibly happen?
I know.
And
I
then they
feel
explain
exactly like
why. And then you realize,
wow.
whatever I did, I'm lucky because I was able to inadvertently help this person.
Yeah.
And I get emotional too. I mean, I'm very emotional
Yeah.
about this stuff, but it's
But I realized what a big impact films and various actors had on me as a kid.
who?
Do you have that? Well, going to see Bye Bye Birdie and see Anne Margaret. Believe it or not, I go, that's what I want to be. I just want to be like Anne Margaret,
Oh my God, biggest crush on Anne
And
Margaret.
oh my God, she was so great, wasn't she? Oh my
Oh,
God, and she still is.
beautiful.
She's alive and she's wonderful. But that movie and then Viva Las Vegas with Elvis and Anne Margaret changed my life. It changed the complete trajectory of my life. And who was I reading the other? Oh yeah, I was reading RuPaul's autobiography, and he was talking about how a couple movies completely got into his head, gave him this idea that he was going to be this or that. And I was watching Arnold Schwarzenegger's documentary.
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
Pretty damn amazing,
It was
huh?
amazing. Yeah.
Wow. But do you remember how he went and saw Hercules?
Yes.
And he saw that guy. I don't know who that actor was. Did you?
Yeah.
And
that
he
was
just
it.
said, yeah, I want to be him. I want to be him.
I want to
I want
be
to be
him.
Hercules.
I don't think I ever watched something and thought, I mean, maybe later I started to think, I sort of tried to emulate Gary Oldman when I started getting acting in college and
Yeah.
stuff, and I grew my hair long.
Good person to emulate.
And I would watch everything he did and read everything he had pictures of Gary Oldman, and I just like wanted to like be Gary Oldman,
But no film or television show made you go, when you were a little kid, made you go, that's what I want to do, or I want to
It
be
was
like
too
them.
big
Or
for, I think my dreams just felt like almost impossible growing up. So when I watched Empire Strikes Back or I watched Back to the Future, I looked at these things and I just remember enjoying them. And I don't remember going, I want to do that. I want to be that. I want to,
Wow.
it just felt too big for me. And I grew up in a really small town, and I was not-
Smallville?
yes, but I was small and I didn't get girls, and I wasn't, I just didn't imagine.
You
that-
should have watched Hercules.
Yeah, I should have watched Hercules. I think all of a sudden, I knew I was sort of social a little bit. Like I was out there. I was eccentric.
hmm
Maybe I was
Really?
maybe-
That's weird.
But I remember I did a play, and the teacher forced me to audition. And when I did that, I was a nervous wreck, and I couldn't believe it. Was so scary. But then the applause and the attention,
Ah, there you
and
go.
that's
yeah, that's a
what
big deal
finally interested me.
too. hmm
I thought, this is allowing me to feel like I'm part of something,
Yep.
like I am good at something. And so I think I did it because I was good at it, and that's why I did it, because I wasn't getting that validation at home.
Yeah,
I wasn't getting that. So instant gratification is what I,
that's a good reason to do it. I had a good dose
and that's
of that
that's
too.
not good because it catches up to you.
Well, that's true too. Then when they're not like kissing your ass, you're like, oh, what's the matter?
Where'd everybody go?
I got to tell you this wacky story. When I was like 3 years old, my parents put me up. My dad put me up on a table at a Greek restaurant outside of Randolph, Kansas, and I danced and I sang "How Much Is That Doggy in the Window," and people threw coins on the table. I mean, and I think right then I was like, yeah, baby, okay, I can do this, and I get money.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. I honestly think I got that in my little head.
I remember
At 3
in
years
college, my
old.
best friend Tom would.
Don't let me keep you awake.
No, he's fine. He's trying not to sneeze. No, but my best friend Tom, I'd be at a party in college, and he'd go, "Hey, this guy does impressions, man. He's really funny. Listen to these impressions." And I remember having like a like a bucket, I go, hey, tips. I'd do an impression of Rodney Dangerfield or Fire Marshal Bill or Nicholson or something, and they would throw dollars in, and I'd make like $20.
Nice. It'd be
And
like,
just doing impressions.
nothing. Yeah.
And but you need a cheerleader along the way. You need someone who believes in you, because a lot of times we don't really believe in ourselves
That's
until someone
true.
else believes in us.
That's
And
true.
did you feel like there was someone in your life that really believed in you and said, hey, I got your back. I know you can do this?
Yeah, it's crazy. My family certainly didn't. They thought I was out of my mind.
Right.
I mean, we're in the small town in Kansas that, it's like, oh yeah,
Smallville.
you're gonna be. We were in Smallville also. It's funny I didn't see you there. But it was like I'm dreaming. Maybe they thought I was insane or something.
Yeah.
But my art teacher in high school, his name was Mr. Samuelson, and he was an old guy, really old. He had retired, but they brought him back to teach art, and he's probably almost not quite as old as me now. But he is the one who told me, if you want to do this, just do it. I go, what do you mean, just do it? He goes, just do it. He had the whole Nike slogan down before they came out with it. But he really did. I said, I want to be he said, what are you going to do after high school? I said, I want to be a showgirl in Las Vegas, which, my parents said, you're not pretty enough. You're not tall enough. You can't do that. You have to be a good dancer. You have to,
That's horrible to hear.
Yeah, no, they were just,
How old were you?
Oh, this was all from like, high
This was
school
my whole
years.
life.
So yeah, 15, 16, 17.
Right.
And Mr. Samuelson, who later I found out was gay.
Good for him.
See, the gay
See?
man, saved my
See?
whole life. I'm
Yeah.
telling you. But he just told me I can do it. He said, don't let that stop you. Don't let this stop you. Just forge ahead if that's what you want to do. And it was the first time anybody had told me that if you want to do something, you can do it. I don't know. Everybody else said, you're crazy, you out of your mind.
When people say you can do it, you have got to really, it's amazing how people think things just happen and, you have to commit to something.
You do.
And you have to work hard. You worked hard.
Well, you're not going to believe what I did. In this case, it just happened. I
What? Well, fuck you.
Dreamed it. I know. Thank you. I went on a vacation with my mom and dad on
Is this in the book?
Spring break. Yeah.
Yep.
And we were going to California, to Chino, to visit my cousins. And we stopped in Las Vegas. I begged and pleaded with my parents to take me to like a big tits and feather show, that's what they were called. And because I had seen that in Viva Las Vegas, the movie. So I begged them to go. And they said, but you're only 17. And I said, well, I dressed up. I put a little wiglet on. I patted my boobs. I dressed really sexy, put a ton of makeup, eyelashes, everything on, and went with them to see this show, Casino de Prairie at the Dunes Hotel. And I sat down, and the maitre d' came over and said, are you a showgirl? And I said, oh my God, no. And I started freaking out because I thought they're going to bust me. I'm here drinking a glass of champagne with my mom and dad, and I'm underage. I had a fake ID that I had made. But
And your parents let you use it?
yeah, I begged, I pleaded
God.
to go to the show.
Okay.
So all of a sudden, the dance captain, this woman named Fluffy, comes out and asks me if I would go backstage, puts on a record, has me dance, and says, would you like to be in the show? We're starting auditions tomorrow morning for the new show, Viva La Girls. Which is
What?
Viva Las Vegas, Viva La Girls.
That doesn't
Vegas.
happen anymore.
I know. And it did happen. And then my parents drugged me screaming and crying back to Colorado. We had moved to Colorado by then. And wouldn't let me do it. And I made their life a living hell for the next 3 or 4 months before I graduated. And they finally signed this document that said I could do it. They had to sign off on me.
They let you in later?
No, it was that the rehearsals were starting in the summer, and I had to finish high school. And the second I finished, I hopped in my little red Firebird and headed to Vegas and had a job. Isn't that crazy?
So it did just happen to you.
It did. I dreamed it. I dreamed it.
You know what's funny is I get that. There was an instance where in my college, Western Kentucky University in Bowling Green, Kentucky,
Wow.
which I loved, they said there's this guy, Leo Burmester. He was in The Abyss, Broadway. He went to Western. He's coming and he wants to hear some monologues. So the seniors are going to get to do some monologues, just like 7.
Nice.
But I was a junior.
So were you at acting, all that drama classes?
And I was a junior, and I went to the head of the department. I said, I want to give monologues. She's like, well, you're not a graduating senior. And I go, I flipped out. I was like, you have to let me. Because in my head, I swear to God, I remember Leo's going to come down. I'm going to give a monologue. He's going to like, this kid's got it. He is going to bring me to New York. That's what I thought. And I really believed it. I really believed that he is going to see me and he is going to, and I'm telling you, this is how it happened. They agreed. I was the last one to go in class. Leo, after the monologue, said, come here. I want you to do it again, but I want you to do it like this. And I did it again. And then he goes, come here. And now the class is getting restless because no one's gone more than once.
Okay.
And I did it 5 times. I'm crying.
Wow.
He has me crying.
Oh my God.
And the class leaves. And he grabs me and he says, you've got it. You just keep working.
Wow.
Because you've got it. You've got it. It's right here in your heart. It's in your heart.
That's a game changer.
I haven't told that story. And then Dr. Combs, who was our teacher later on, said to me, I don't know what he saw in you, but that Leo Burmester really thought you had it. You were the only one he mentioned. God. And Leo left a message on my recorder at my apartment in college and said, later on, he said, hey, it's Leo Burmester. I talked to my agent about you. Is there any way you can get to New York and meet them?
Wow.
And I flew to New York and I met them. But I had to finish college. And they said, see us afterwards. And then I went to them after that. And I couldn't get a call back because it was another year. So they never called me back. But anyway, it worked out. But that gave me
the whole jumping off point.
But what you're saying is like, you could, if you see it, if you really believe it and really, it's amazing how shit can happen.
I swear.
And I think the older you get, you don't see it as much.
I think you don't. I think when you're a kid, you're still dreaming. You're allowed to dream. I can't tell you how many times things like that happen to me. I mean, meeting Elvis and ending up with him changing the entire trajectory of my life.
Inside of You is brought to you by Rocket Money. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps you find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Ryan and I talk about this all the time. We have Rocket Money. We use Rocket Money. How many times do you watch a show and you just do the, what is it called, free trial period? And then all of a sudden, 6 months later, I've spent $80. How did that happen? Well, not with Rocket Money. It's not going to happen. Ryan actually tried it. Was like, it's funny. I was using Rocket Money. I go, come on, you're kidding around. He's like, no, it actually helped me out.
No, I did. Yeah. And it does help.
Yeah, it does. Absolutely.
See all of your subscriptions in one place and know exactly where your money is going. For any you don't want anymore, Rocket Money can help you cancel them with just a few taps.
Rocket Money's dashboard gives you a clear view of your expenses across all of your accounts. Easily create a personalized budget with custom categories to help keep your spending on track. See your monthly spending trends in each category to know exactly where your money is going.
Get alerts if bills increase in price, there's unusual spending activity, or if you're close to going over budget.
Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's features. Stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/inside. That's rocketmoney.com/inside. rocketmoney.com/inside.
The title of the book, The Talented Farter.
Yes.
What's that gonna be?
Never.
This is a wonderful story about a little boy whose only gift, his only real talent is tooting. He can make his toot sound like everything you hear in everyday life. So little Michael loved Halloween, but nothing frightened his friends more than when Michael would stink up a good scare. Can you hear that?
Oh, I heard it.
It is a lovely story, and it's beautifully illustrated by my friend Heath, and Simon & Schuster's putting it out. It's going to be in tons of bookstores and available on Amazon. I'm so proud of it.
Where'd you meet him?
And I did not sleep with him. I went and saw his show.
Did you kiss him?
I did.
Was it a good kiss?
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Was it tongue?
Oh my God, yes. It was. We were kind of making out the whole evening.
God.
But I was also underage. People go, why didn't you sleep with him? First of all, I was a virgin. He was,
How old were you?
he was 17.
17. Were you about to be 18?
Yes, very close. I
Very
was
close.
Almost September. It was like a couple weeks.
In those days, nobody even winked at it, right?
Oh, they did.
Oh, they did.
Elvis was surrounded with guys who were telling him, you do this, you do that. They're not going to let him go.
But then you have a fake ID?
Yeah, but that, no, that's not going to work there. They don't ask for your ID before they sleep with you.
How old was he at the time?
He was young. He was gorgeous. I think 34.
34.
He had just done that big special on TV where he wore the black leather jacket and the black leather pants.
If I could
Stephen,
dream of a better land. I love that song.
Hey, that's good.
Thanks.
Yeah.
So
anyway, but I had thought about, I'm going to meet Elvis. I'm going to be with Elvis. And I ended up meeting Elvis, hanging out with him for a whole entire night. He tells me I need to get out of Vegas. He tells me you do not want to stay here and be the oldest showgirl in Las Vegas. I told him I'm the youngest showgirl in Las Vegas right now, and he said, "How old are you?" I said 17, and so that was a big
yeah.
Anyway, so but we just talked all night. He was fantastic,
really sweet,
super sweet, super nice. We sang on the piano. He said, "You have a nice voice. Why don't you sing? Why don't you go get a gig somewhere singing?" I was like, "Really? I only ever sang in choir in school." And he said, "Yeah, just get the hell out of Vegas. You should not be here. You're too young. It's a dead-end job." He goes, "I know a lot of showgirls here after their career,
There's nothing much.
Did
he give you his number? No.
No, that was that. It was a one night. Bye-bye.
Can you still, I know this sounds like a stupid question, but I have a feeling, can you still hear his voice talking to you?
Yeah, I suppose if I lay there and relax.
Can you still hear him talking to you?
Yeah, probably.
Because I probably would have remembered that. Like, hey, you got to just, you just got to go with it. You got to go with your heart. Look, you can't stay here all these old showgirls.
Yeah.
I mean, right?
Yeah, kind of like that. He was kind of, he was very kind of a young.
You got great lips.
Oh my God, Michael. Anyway, it did change my life because I really would have been the oldest showgirl in Las Vegas right now. 72, damn. But I thought,
That's beautiful.
I'm going to listen to Elvis. I'm getting the hell out of here. And I started taking singing lessons, and I got a singing gig in Vegas in my show. And then when my contract was up, I thought I was going to stay there the rest of my life because I had made it to the big time. That was it. I'm done. And I ended up leaving and moving to Europe and getting in a band. So
all this is in the book.
Yes, all
Yours
in there.
truly,
Yeah.
Elvira.
Yes. It's
best-selling New York Times.
Yes.
Did you ever role play behind closed doors in your Elvira outfit for anybody, any guy?
No, that's a very sad thing. People ask me that. Never, because I did not want to fuck up my wig.
Is that the only reason?
Yeah.
What if they got you another wig that kind of looked like
I had
it?
too much makeup. My wig was too good. It took too much money to style. I could not fuck it up.
Did you look at yourself from the outside in and say, that's a fucking sexy character I created?
Yeah, probably at some time. I think of it as more goofy.
It is, but that's what's great about her. She doesn't take herself seriously. She's sexy because she's goofy and doesn't, you know what I mean? Just kind of was like flirty and fun.
Yeah, you know where I honestly think that whole thing started, and I think I got it from there, was when I was a showgirl in Vegas. I'm all covered head to toe in feathers and everything, but of course my boobs are hanging out. I've got everything else is covered pretty much, but I'm dancing around on stage, and they had a number. I wore glasses then, really, really thick glasses. I was so damn blind. You couldn't believe. So, of course, when I was a showgirl, I couldn't wear glasses. Back then they only had hard contact lenses, and they would kill me because I'd have, 2 or 3 pairs of eyelashes on the top, 2 pairs on the bottom, and the eye makeup would just kill me, awful.
Yeah.
So I didn't wear glasses. So when I was in rehearsals, I kept running into the wall and falling off the stage and things like that. And they built a number around me where I came out and danced around with a male singer, And I ran into the curtains and got all wrapped up in them.
People
and
laughed.
then I ran, and people died laughing. And I walked towards the front of the stage, and he would just grab me back the second before I stepped off of it. And it became like a big number in the show that people really, really loved. And I saw that I was being sexy, but I was acting like a dork, you know? So.
And that's where it originated.
I think it might have, a combination of sexy and stupid. I don't know if it was stupid, but just slapstick.
When you first started doing it, you were probably getting pennies. Like they weren't paying you a lot.
Oh, no.
To play, right?
No. When I started Elvira, $350 a week before tax,
Really?
Yeah.
And when did you know, all right, they're going to pay because this is big?
Well, they didn't want to pay. I was the number one show on this very small station right down here in Hollywood. It was KHJ.
KHJ
yeah,
TV.
It's now KCAL.
Right.
They took them over years ago. But they didn't have a lot of money, but my show began to be the biggest thing on there. There are other shows for like Jack LaLanne. Remember him? Jack LaLanne, the workout guy.
Stuff, yeah.
He was a doll. And Meredith McRae doing something about Around Town or something. And so, I'm number one show. Doesn't take much. But so I knew that money was coming in. And so we asked for more money, and they said no, they couldn't pay me anymore. So we asked for the rights to start a fan club. And then the next contract came up. We asked for more money. They wouldn't pay. So we asked for the rights to make T-shirts. So basically
forever
merchandising.
Right.
And then every time something would come up, we'd ask for more rights. And pretty soon, they didn't realize it, but I had all the rights. I had all the rights. And then that was that. Then I started working my own deals.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
But you were the 2 finalists on Gilligan's Island? I didn't know that.
Yeah. It was so bizarre. The girl that was the other finalist lived right next door to me, Judy Baldwin. It was, in the whole city. Wouldn't it be bizarre if your next door neighbor was up against you?
Yeah.
It was weird. But yeah, they ended up going with a girl that neither of us. And we did these grueling auditions where one was a singing audition, one was an acting one was a dancing one. Anyway.
All right, are you glad you didn't get it?
Oh my God! Thank God! If I would have gotten it,
would have been a different.
It would have been a one-time thing.
That would have been it.
Shot it. It was going to be the kind of like a pilot for a whole new Gilligan Asylum, but it didn't take off, and
Jesus.
I would have missed the Elvira audition. So that would have been that.
And you really dated Robert De Niro?
I did. Yeah, I don't know if you want to say dated, but I went out with him one night.
Was it weird?
Pretty awesome. It was fantastic.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get some tea. You eat spaghetti?
That's a fantastic
What did he do?
face. I hope people see that.
You want to get some pasta? I don't know. He breathes heavy.
He had just done that movie, Bang the Drum Slowly.
Yeah.
And he was just getting ready. When I met him, he's sitting there telling me, oh my God, I just got this part. I'm going to be working with Marlon fucking Brando. And he was just losing his mind.
Godfather.
Yeah. And
it was just a fun night.
It was just a super fun night. He was awesome, really cute and fun. And that was it. It was bye-bye. He went back to New York. I was here in LA. Yeah.
God. I know on a downer, but you were really close friends with Paul Reubens.
Yeah, really close.
And that hit you hard?
Really hard. Still hit me hard. It's like I talked to Paul every couple of days, at least for the hours on the phone. It was really crazy. He'd call late at night. I'd go, I called him Pee-wee, and he called me Elvira. I'd go, Pee-wee, it's 10:30. I'm going to bed. And he's going, no, I just have a story to tell you. I swear, it'll only take about an hour and a half. Just hold on. I just have to tell you something really quick. And I go, no, Paul. And then he'd start talking, and then like an hour would pass, and I'd be crying. I'd be laughing so hard. I'd just be freaking dying.
He always made you laugh.
Always made me laugh. Although we went through some really hard times with his health, because for the prior 5 or 6 years, he'd gotten different kinds of cancer. And so sometimes he'd call me and go, oh my God, what's happening? And he'd cry, I'd cry. But he bounced back like crazy. I didn't think he was ever going to die from it. I really didn't, because he would just bounce back and be perfect again.
Yeah.
It was amazing. And then it would metastasize into something else. And that's how it kept going.
Yeah.
So that was
Sucks.
sad. Really sucks. having Pee Wee die is like having Santa Claus die or something. It's like a person you
I
don't think
know.
will ever die.
I know.
You know that? It's
Yeah.
weird.
All right, this is called Shit Talking with Elvira. All right, this is rapid fire. You just have to answer them fast. These are my patrons, patreon.com/inside of you. We love you.
Oh, God.
Join today and support us. Jen T, what is your weirdest habit?
Weird. I don't know.
You pick your nose?
Well, yes.
You bite your fingernails?
No.
You smoke?
No.
Weed?
Yes.
Okay. Is weed a habit?
Just for going to sleep.
Okay, it's a habit. Jammin' Jenny, what was your favorite movie to spoof on your Midnight Elvira's movie Macabre, and why?
Oh God, my favorite one is, I don't know, Night of the Living Dead. I think I did it 5 or 6 times. It was just such a freaking brilliant movie, and it had so many funny things in it that you could make fun of, but it was a brilliant movie.
Dana S., what is the most annoying question people ask you over and over that I probably already asked you?
The one you just asked me now.
Role play?
Role play? Me? No.
No, it wasn't the role play thing in your Elvira outfit the one that people ask the most?
Yeah, no, they all, really in the beginning, they'd ask, are your boobs real? That is honestly what they would ask all the time in the beginning. I mean, it's like, you know.
And what do you say?
Well, they'd say, are they real? And I'd go, of course my fingernails are real. I don't know, something like that. God, I don't know. Thankfully, that's.
I'm going to give you this for your dog. This is my a new product, Rosie's Puppy Fresh Breath.
Oh, fantastic. My dog needs that. It just got out of puppy breath into adult dog
That's
breath.
why I made that. It's like you
made it?
You put yeah, it's mine, Rosie. Rosie's, those are my dogs.
You're kidding. Oh my God.
Yeah, so you just put a cap full in your dog's water and
gonna do
it's
some myself.
odorless and tasteless. Cheap plug, but I had to do it. But I'm good. So give it to your dogs.
I will.
It's for you.
I love it.
And last but
I might
not
take
least,
some too.
will you sign my Elvira Funko?
Absolutely. Okay, you have a good pen there?
Yeah, you have to put to Michael. I have mine. She has hers, and she has her Puppy Fresh Breath.
Isn't that fun? You know, there's a funny story. Was it with Pee Wee one birthday? We always had a birthday together, and he'd invite around 10 or 12 people. And we're all sitting at the table, and one person says to Paul, "Oh, wow, you just got like a maquette, you know, like a statue of you. That must be so awesome. I mean, who at this table can say they have a maquette of themselves?" And everybody's hand went up except for like 2 guys. It was like 9 people there, you know, had their own action figure maquette.
People are, you know.
So bizarre. So it's like you and me. Yeah.
Look at that.
Let's trade these. What?
The statue.
I know. That is
yeah.
fantastic.
Santiago
I love
made that. Yeah, like a fan made that, and he's awesome.
Oh, really? Just a one-off thing?
Yeah, he made that.
Oh my
and
God.
he made one for Tom of
Wow.
Clark Kent. So,
That's fantastic.
yeah. What's your favorite horror movie of all time?
Oh, Christ of all time. Well, yeah, I'm going back to, again, the
Scariest.
The first one I ever saw was House on Haunted Hill as a kid. And that just got
Wasn't that
me
Vincent Price?
100%.
Yeah.
Into horror. That's why I loved him so much. It was
Yes.
so that's like my favorite because it sort of changed my whole life, you know? Scariest, I'm still going to go with The Exorcist. I know people say
Look
it's
right
stupid.
there. Linda
there's
Blair
Stacey.
signed it.
I sat next to Linda Blair at The Exorcist, and I thought I was going to freaking jump out of my skin. And it was
Oh,
that
my
director's
God.
cut where she walked like a crab, you know, down the stairs upside down.
Yes.
And I was
there. Was it at the Man's Theater?
Yes,
I was
yes.
there.
You're kidding.
This is like
you must have been only
1998,
12 years
99.
old. You were like 12 or 13?
No, wait a minute. Wasn't this like 99
Yeah,
when they did
yeah.
Yeah, I'm 52.
Yeah.
I was older than that.
Okay.
Just the power of
But-
Christ to compel you.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was like
yeah.
a fundraiser for an animal rights thing or something. But yeah, I sat right next to Linda, and I was absolutely scared out of my mind. I don't know. It was really
My friend
creepy.
Jason Patrick,
Yeah. Oh,
name
I
drop.
met you. Yeah.
His dad is the lead priest.
You're kidding.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Father Marin.
Good Lord. That was a
Jason
scary
Miller, yeah.
damn movie. I
It
don't think it'll
was.
ever be.
The scariest part of that
scary.
movie is when he's sitting next to her, and all of a sudden, the drawer opens, and he goes,
Yeah.
"Do that again." And she looks at him and goes, "In time." He goes,
Ew.
"No, do it now. In time." And I'm
Wow,
like,
you remember that.
Oh, you speak
Yeah.
Latin? Quod nomen mihi, yes. Le plume de battant. Ah! Yeah, I remember all that weird shit.
You really?
Yeah,
I can't
I'm
remember
all-
any movie.
look around you. This horror. I'm geeking out. All right, look, I love you. Thanks for being
Thank
here.
you.
This has been
Mwah.
amazing.
I love you too.
You're
This is
amazing.
fun. Thanks, Michael.
Thanks. She's just a gem. She's just an absolute gem. I hope you enjoyed that. And if you like this episode, if you were here for Cassandra Peterson and you enjoyed it, please write a review, stick around, support the podcast, patreon.com/inside of you. And well, that was a damn treat. Right now we're gonna she's a legend.
It was great.
She's a legend, a freaking legend. I had a legend right here on that couch in this room, man. And it was pretty cool.
It is weird to sort of sit here sometimes and then think about all the people who have sat here.
Yeah, I do that sometimes. I'm like, oh, Keanu Reeves was sitting there. Kiefer was sitting there. It's just neat.
A lot of famous butts been right here.
A lot of famous ass on these couches. Famous ass. Fame ass. Fame ass.
Fame ass.
Fame ass on these couches. All right, let's go to the people who really make this possible. These are my patron friends. Patreon.com/inside. We're going to read the top tiers. These are folks that give a little extra and make this podcast possible. You know who you are, but I'm going to say your name, and Ryan will help me. Nancy freaking D, Little Lisa or Lil Lisa, Yukiko, Jill E, and Brian H, and Niko P, and Rob L, and Jason Dreamweaver, Sophie M, Raj C, Jennifer N, Stacey L, Jamal F, Janelle B, Mike, Eldanzsupremo, 99 more, Santiago M, Maddie S, Kendrick F, for the love of God. How about Belinda N or Dave Hull, Ray Harada,
Brad D, though.
Tabitha T. What?
You said you missed Brad
D.
D.
How could I miss Brad D?
Well, I got him.
I love Brad D. Tom N, Tabitha T, Talia M, Betsy D. I love you all. Rhiannon C.
Corey K, Michelle A, Jeremy C, Mr. M, Eugene and Leah.
Don't forget,
Salty Ham. Mel S. Eric H. Oracle. We just watched an episode called Oracle.
Maybe that's what her name's name.
Maybe that's what it is. Amanda R. William K. Kevin E. Jor L. Jammin J. Leanne
J.
Luna
R.
Mike
F.
Jules
M.
Jessica
B. Briar. Don't forget Briar and Kaylee J. and Charlene A. Marion Louise L. Romeo the band. I love you guys. This is awesome. Frank B. I know we have to blitz through your names because there's so many, but sometimes I just want to say them nicely. Jen T. April R. Randy S. Claudia. Rachel D, Jen Carolina Girl, Lorelei L, Nick W, Stephanie and Evan, known as
Stefan,
Charlene A, Don G, Jenny B 76, Tina E, Angie Tracy, Keith B, Heather and Greg, Ellie K, Elizabeth L, Ben B, Jammin, Pierre C, Hello Sultan, and Ingrid C, Christina S, and Brandon C, Mrs. Lex Luthor, Dave T, and David L. We love you. We can't do the show without you. From the Hollywood Hills in Hollywood, California, I am Michael Rosenbaum.
I'm Ryan Tails. Hello.
Brought this voice Ryan. Back. Good to see you. Little wave to the camera. We love you. And as always, please, please, please be good to yourself. I'll see you soon. Whenever you want to listen to me, I'll be here for you. So there you go. Be good to yourself.